the new owner of the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love is here to stay. Dallas is for real, and I'll continue to sing their praises until they give me a reason not to. And on 9/11, the Jets come back, put a game into overtime, and then win in overtime. And we have some Aaron Rodgers injury, along with other injuries. We got all that, plus we're ranking all the teams that did the best over the weekend, and a whole lot more. There's a lot to get into. Stick around, we got a great show. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with America's Sports Football Show. The NFL's internet is back in full force now that week 1 is done and over with. And we're going to grade all of the winning teams. We're going to highlight the very special ones, the ones that got A's. And we're going to rank them between A- and A+. Let's go. And that is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm kissing their ass this week. On defense, they have Marquise Bell. They have Kurt, Van Der Esch, Malik Hooker, Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, and Stephon Gilmore. I mean, what? This is probably the best defense that Dallas has had maybe in all of my time in watching football, and I'm in my 30s, I'll just tell you that. Now mixed with an offense that just brought in Brandon Cooks, it takes a lot off the top. And Tony Pollard running the show makes them also a very potent offense. Of course, A+s also go out to the San Francisco 49ers. McCaffrey's breaking tackles to the end zone. That was a spectacular play, probably the rush of the week. And Pittsburgh, known for running the ball traditionally over the last forever for Pittsburgh. They only ran the ball 10 times because they got down early. They were forced to be out of their comfort zone right from the start. 49ers sacked Pickett 5 times and picked him off twice. It was not a great day for Pickett whatsoever. The rumblings in training camp must have been true for the 49ers. All we kept hearing was, man, nobody can guard Ayuk. And nobody could for Pittsburgh, that is for sure. They came, they saw, they whooped ass. They did exactly what I expected them to do. I don't think Pittsburgh is a bad team, but San Francisco is on a different level than they are. At least for right now, but the last thing you should do is count out Pittsburgh. And also giving an A+, I give it to the Green Bay Packers. I thought that game would be a lot closer because it's a division game, and I just did not see them putting up that many points. I thought Chicago's defense was much improved, or at least that Bears defense was supposed to be better this year. They did bring in some quality pieces, I thought. But to me, they fell back into the same tendencies that they fell into last year, and that's not going to win them a lot of football games. I don't care who's out there. It was as good as the first week as you could have. Aaron Jones looked phenomenal. He is questionable at the moment. Jordan Love looked phenomenal. Packers fans, congratulations, dude. Without their number 1 wide receiver in Christian Watson. Which brings me to my next team. All in the NFC, by the way. This is my last AA Plus team, and I give it to the LA Rams. And of these 4 teams that I give A pluses to, this is the team that's being talked about the least. But it's one of the most impressive games. 1, because they go into Seattle, a place that's never easy to win at. 2, I was very high on Seattle coming into the year. And 3, no Cooper Kupp, one of the best offensive weapons in the game. I believe they made a statement, but it's just not hitting the national media as hard yet. Now, if they beat the 49ers coming up next week, then we'll know that the Rams are back, and they are for real. One thing I wanted to point out, though, I forget which mainstream media guy this was that said, if Cooper Kupp doesn't play for the Rams, there's no shot for the Rams to win. It's always so funny to me to see people that are analysts give a team a 0% chance to win when all of us clearly know that any given Sunday, these are all professionals out there on the field. Anyone can get beat on any day, because it just automatically tells me, wow, I've studied and prepared for this game more than you have. Now let's get to the A's. Then we'll go on to the A-, of course, and then we'll get into the best players of week 1, and we'll start previewing week 2. I give the Detroit Lions an A, regardless of anything else. They went into Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes while they're getting banners put up for them as Super Bowl champions. I give it an A because I think the Lions can be even better than this. Now, they didn't have to play against Kelsey or against Jones, but there is no asterisk in the NFL for wins. I believe it was Mike Tirico that said it, and Tirico, I'm sorry, buddy, but you are wrong here. I've never heard that in the NFL before. There is no asterisk. A win is a win in the NFL. Gotta give an A also to Miami Dolphins because Tua was unbelievable and Tyreek is just like virtually unguardable. He's a video game character and he said he's going for 2,000, damn it, and I believe him. The only thing I regret is not being able to draft him in my fantasy leagues this year. Threw 3 touchdowns and threw for 466 on him. Combined Burrow, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts, and Tua still threw for more passing yards than those 3. Now let's go on to the A-. Starting in A- is the Philadelphia Eagles, who started off at a 16-0 run in the first quarter. And then New England would come back with 14 in the second quarter, making it a pretty close game from the second quarter on. New England was able to pass on them with relative ease, and that's where my question lies with Philly, why they didn't get a higher grade than this. If New England can throw on them with relative ease, and I wonder how many other teams can do it as well. And Jalen Hurts did not play his best game, but other than that, you would imagine Philly to be in pretty great shape still. Alright, we've come to the Cleveland Browns, and we might as well just get this one over with. I'm a Bengals fan. We got absolutely slaughtered. Their defense was pretty amazing, considering Joe Burrow only threw for 82 passing yards. But I thought our defense was good. I don't give them higher than an A- because I don't think their offense was that great. I think we just went 3 and out every time and really helped them out in Cleveland. This is a good football team, though, so look for Cleveland to be on my high-rated scales week in, week out. I don't think Cincinnati will play this bad ever again because it's hard to play worse than the way that we played, but who knows. Okay, that was fun. Let's get into the best players of week 1. My defensive player of the week is actually a tie because I want to highlight both of these players. They both deserve it. We all saw on Monday Night Football who picked off Josh Allen 3 times. Actually, you know what? Since I have 2, I'm going to rank him. This is number 2. Caused a lot of havoc against Stephon Diggs, and of course, Josh Allen had 3 passes defended as well. But my number 1 defensive player of the week is Jesse Bates. 2 interceptions and causing 1 forced fumble on Miles Sanders. Bates was also everywhere, tackling everybody as he led the team in total tackles with 10, and he also had 2 passes defended. So both were safeties, and both really did their thing. Jesse Bates, we miss you in Cincinnati. He's going to absolutely put on a show in Atlanta, and I love every minute of it. My offensive players of the week, really, they play on both teams. It's Tua and it's Tyreek Hill. Both of them deserve it. If I had to find a second player from a different team, let me think real quick. Oh yeah, that's right. Austin Eckler, who should have been the number 1 pick in your fantasy football draft. I tried to warn you guys about this. And speaking of fantasy, if you're into fantasy football, check out our show that is coming out in a couple of days. If you do happen to catch this in time, usually week 2's waiver wire ad, pretty obvious. Tyler Algier, Kyron Williams, Kendrick Bourne, Hayden Hurst, and Tutu Atwell, just kind of off the top of my head, are players that are going to be taken automatically off of your waiver wire. And if you're high up on that waiver wire list, you should be able to get 1 or maybe even a couple of these guys if you get lucky. But the touchdown of the week, even though every week this is going to be a tough one to choose from, it's fresh in my mind, but it was touchdown of the week. It's Garrett Wilson's catch to tie the game, 4th quarter, amazing catch. That's touchdown of the week. I think McCaffrey's touchdown run was physically harder to do, but Garrett Wilson, given that it tied up the game in the 4th quarter, it impacted the game at such a magnitude that McCaffrey's was physically harder to do, I think. But Garrett Wilson was touchdown of the week because of what it meant for the Jets. I think our biggest takeaway is that the defenses in the run game was far ahead of the quarterback play, which led to the wide receivers and the scoring overall being down. The under definitely won this week. It usually does. but week 1 is usually where the over has a chance to beat it. Overall, we can't take a ton of stock from week 1 because we know statistically, usually week 1 is the craziest. Potential, we can say there's some potential for some teams. Like the Rams are potentially back as contenders in their division. Dallas's defense is really fucking good. Tua and Tyreek, when Tua's healthy, is still a super deadly combination. And the Cincinnati Bengals just cannot seem to beat the Browns. Brown is a Bengals kryptonite. Last thing I want to say before I go is I'm completely devastated for J.K. Dobbins and Aaron Rodgers. Dobbins has just come off of a bunch of injuries over the last couple of years, and he's just been plagued with injury. It's so sad to see, anybody go through that. And Aaron Rodgers playing with the Packers his whole career, going to the Jets, and it looked like he was very happy there. He could not wait to play football for the New York Jets. And he got to play all of, I think it was 4 plays before season ender. If there's anyone else that had a season-ending injury over this first week that I am just not remembering right now, then be sure to let me know. Didn't see anyone talking shit about J.K.'s injury, but I did see people talking shit about Rodgers' injury, and that's fucked up. If you're anyone that sees someone get injured, whether you like that person or not, and you get happy about it, fuck you. That's all I have to say about that. But we'll end on a positive note. I thank you all if you watched it all the way through, or just watched a little bit of it. Whatever you did, I really appreciate it. Give this a thumbs up and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. T's and P's to Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins. Have a great day.